week, probably the craziest anniversary special of the entire day of this Hubei necklace, and already absolutely flying out the door. It is a customer pick favorite. It's one of my other all-time favorite collectibles from you in turquoise at $129. So yes, we're pretty excited. This is like costume jewelry. You gotta hear the story. We could never do this, Jay. I know, I'm used to, you're like, how in the world?
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't even know. To quite frankly, to be honest with you, I don't know that we even had any of these.
They're very limited, but
I wasn't aware that we had any left. I honestly cannot make this. I couldn't make this if you held my feet to the fire.
Listen,
whatever. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it. You can't get this material. This is antique. They call it antique turquoise. This material is extremely, extremely rare. It was mined in the late 70s, early 80s. Of the top 12 collectible turquoises in the world, this is one of, in my collection of my top 12 most rare and collectible turquoises that I have. This is the one of those 12.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with Hubei. Like I always bring my samples.
I love this. I
don't
like
know if
doing
you guys
this.
can go to this
Maybe
or
we can
not.
put this like right here, because
Is there any way to go into?
yeah, they're gonna see if they can grab
Okay.
that on the camera. There you go.
All right. Do you see this? Do you know these are my samples from the 70s?
That's so wild. Wow.
I mean, literally from the late 70s when I first discovered this mine and when I first started working with this mine. I used to sell the turquoise. Not only did I do finished pieces, but I also sold the rough material.
Mm-hmm.
What you're looking at here are the original samples that I had
That's
from
crazy.
back then in the day. I still have these in my case. Do you know how many people that see this in my specimen case that try to buy these constantly? You cannot get this. But the reason I keep them is this. I want to show you what makes Hubei Hubei. Hubei is one of those turquoises that, like, there are a lot of turquoises, just like earlier I was talking about the Campitos blue ice that I have. A lot of people, they're buying that as Sleeping Beauty, or it's being sold to them as Sleeping Beauty because it has a clarity, and Sleeping Beauty because it has that same color. So there are turquoises that unless you really know the source, if you really know where it came from, if you're really, you gotta be there, you gotta be in, if you're not involved, it's one of the few turquoises that you cannot duplicate. Mm-hmm. There is no other turquoise that looks like Hubei.
Look at that.
If I bring anybody that has ever looked at my collection that knows anything about turquoise, okay? But people that, I'm not talking that they're in the industry or anything, but they just know about turquoise thing, when they know exactly that's Hubei. Mm-hmm. A lot of them, they know Sleeping Beauty, a lot of them, but I literally, if you came to my house, just in one of my homes, I have a shelf, I have a wall of turquoise, literally a specimen case, a wall of turquoise that are specimens from every mine I've ever been involved with. I also have another collection of just collections of turquoises that over history that, and the majority of them, 90% of them are all gone now. You couldn't buy them like old landers. A lot of the materials I have, the materials that are historic that you cannot get. Hubei is one of those materials that it's really an American story, right? With everything that's going on in the world, this is really truly an American story. It was American miners that taught them how to mine this. It was American lapidaries that taught them how to cut it, and it was Americans like me that actually developed a market for their raw materials. Right. So this is a material that, like I said, it's an antique turquoise. It's very, very, very rare. Even these nuggets right here, you wouldn't believe what we went through to be able to even get these materials. I remember where these materials came from. But this right here, this is something I can't replace. There are no two of these that will be identical. They're all natural nuggets. And what it was, we went around after after everything, we went to Hubei. I didn't. I can't go into the area. They don't allow any Westerners in the area. And in fact, they don't allow any, the majority of the Chinese can't even go in there. The mine is completely restricted. It's been shut down for, I mean, decades. But you're not even allowed to go into that area. So I had one of my friends, his associate, he could go into the area and he could go buy. And what he did is he went to all the original, and I'm talking about the original lapidary shops from the 80s, early 80s, right? And maybe functioning till maybe the early 90s. He went to them and said, do you have anything? Is there any Hubei material? Because that's all they did. They only worked Hubei. Do you have any of this material left? And the only thing he could find were these, they were like rusted out, gross barrels. I mean, they were all falling apart. And what it was Hubei nuggets and everything that they had never finished, or some of them were pre-drilled, but they had never polished them, and they had just put them in there. We had to buy the whole yard. We had to buy the whole thing. Wow. It was a major thing. It took us over a year to move it. It took us about another year to sort through the materials. And to be honest with you, 70% of it we ended up throwing away. We made it into what we call paving for our rock garden, right? So we only got a limited amount of the material out of it, but it's all high quality material.
Yeah.
It's all really good grade. And then what we did is hand polished all the nuggets. These are all natural nuggets. There's not a single cut nugget on here. They're all natural. The only thing we've done to these is edge ground them to polish them up, and then we've cut them, strung them.
They're going to sell out, my friend. Well, no wonder. Congratulations. We're thrilled for you. We said, can't do it. When they're gone,
no,
I didn't
even, when I saw that today,
yeah,
really, Lynn, I was totally shocked. I was thinking, how
did we even have it?
Where the